The candidates for Executive Vice President, please come down to the stage.
I like that order better. That's a better order.
Is Josh Hub here? Is James Lingo here? Someone from do you want to speak on his behalf? Okay. Ronald Cruz, you'll be speaking on behalf of James Lingo, the Expand Affirmative Action candidate. Okay, so we have 3 questions for our Executive Vice President candidates. You each have 2 minutes to respond. Audience, please hold your applause again. So the order for the first question is going to be Kippa, Chad, Ronald for James, and 2. Again, Kippa, Chad, Ronald, 2. The first question is, last year a bill was passed in the Senate conveying campus's solidarity with Israel, which received much criticism from the student body. Last semester there were many debates in the Senate concerning the conflict between Israel and Palestine. Is there a place in the Senate to discuss international affairs, and what is the value of the Senate making statements on issues over which it has no jurisdiction? Again, last year, a bill was passed in the Senate conveying the campus's solidarity with Israel, which received much criticism from the student body. Last semester, there were many debates in the Senate concerning the current conflict between Israel and Palestine. Is there a place in the Senate to discuss international affairs, and what is the value of the Senate making statements on issues over which it has no jurisdiction?
Thank you. Hi everyone, my name is Kippa Shaw, and I'm your Executive Vice President candidate from CalServe. So this year I've learned the distinction between being a senator and an executive vice president from my experience as a senator. First of all, senators are advocates of their communities. They all are constitutionally mandated to be liaisons to at least 5 different groups, which means that they represent at least 5 different campus community groups. Second of all, the role of the EVP, my role, will be to facilitate dialogue about bills, about issues in the Senate. That's what the role of the EVP is. So next year, I will ensure that senators prioritize professionalism over partisanship, and that senators understand how to communicate with each other by initiating dialogues constantly, all year long, between senators. And if I realize that some senators are having problems, I will address those between senators as a neutral facilitator. Furthermore, I think that it's important to remember that people care about the issues that they're working on. If you're a senator, you have issues that you're going to be working on. I myself am going to be, again, a facilitator. So I will facilitate dialogue on whatever issues are brought into the Senate, be it about Israel-Palestine, be it about whatever else may come into the Senate. Thank you.
There you go.
The next speaker is Chad here.
Thank you very much. First off, let me just say that dialogue is very important in the ACC. There's a lot of demands coming into the system, a lot of people trying to get things out of the system, money, you name it, whatever. EVP is how all those demands get done. It's where everything comes together and gets sorted, because it's the leader of the ACC Senate. And dialogue is very important. And in facilitating that dialogue, the EVP must be good at implementing Robert's Rules of Order, which is the way the meeting is run. So,
motion,
Mr. Morris.
I motion that Chad Cooner takes off his shirt.
Second.
There's been a motion on the floor for Mr. Morris and has been seconded by Mr. Curtis. We will now proceed with the voice vote. All in favor of Chad Cooner taking off his shirt, say aye. Aye. All opposed, please say nay.
Nay.
In the opinion of the chair, the motion passes. Jesus Christ. Let's continue this. As I was saying, facilitating dialogue. It is very important to have a nonpartisan voice as the EVP chair. As most of you know, I was the BCR senator, so Chad, how can you claim to be nonpartisan, right? Well, I don't know if you've recently checked the EPA reports, but Republicans just went from the endangered species list to near extinct. And seeing as I refuse to repopulate the population with Sarah Palin, I've got no one to represent, so I'm really a third-party independent candidate. And I really do promise to facilitate the ASUC Senate in a nonpartisan voice, meeting those demands, even if they are a little absurd. There is a place for them. However, if they do not pertain to students, the EVP should have the voice and authority to move the meeting along to get to student issues that need to be pertained. Lowering book costs, things like that, things that pertain to student issues are first and foremost the duties of the ASUC. So, keeping it in perspective. Has it expired?
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll continue this when I answer the next question.
Next, we'll have Ronald Cruz speaking on behalf of James Lingo. 2 minutes.
All right, it's unfortunate James is not here right now. He would have a lot to say about this, about foreign policy, himself being a veteran from Iraq and Afghanistan. And these issues, of course, affect students. The majority of people in this room voted for Obama, and the majority of people in this room think that the war in Iraq should end. And we, as UC Berkeley, the home of the free speech movement, should not be shy and not be ashamed that the ASUC student government is speaking out on foreign policy. Foreign policy affects our education. The money that's being spent on the war could go towards stopping the budget cuts right now in the universities, and we wouldn't be fighting over each other and fighting with each other and talking about which program should be cut, this or that, athletics versus East Asia department. And that's why it's completely, absolutely relevant to us as students. And the EVP, I mean, what's really at issue is whether the executive vice president would shut down discussion on foreign policy. That's, of course not.
Thank you. Next is
Hi folks, my name is Tutran. I'm the Student Action Apple Engineering Unite Greek candidate for executive vice president.